Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
Falcon fans, NFL fans, man, y'all come on in.
We
Y'all
back.
come on in, man. As we tell y'all, man, come on in, have a seat. Kick your foots up. And, let's have a discussion like we always do.
Not your feet,
But
but your foot.
your foots with an S at the end. But y'all come on in, man. Come on in. Let's talk, man. Let's have a good time. Let's have a conversation like we always do, man. We have a good conversation in this chat, man. So come on in, come on in. But Chris, what's going on, man?
Hey man, feeling great, feeling good. Regardless, every day is a great day. Just gotta put some perspective on it. But of course, we're here to talk more about the unfortunate events that have happened with James Pearce Jr. It's not necessarily that we want to continue talking about it, but more news that came out, more clarity, and we're still even looking for even more clarity on the situation because, as his lawyers have said, and we're going to get into that as well, they're going to fight this thing to the very end. So
Yep.
it's going to be
To
interesting to
the
see what
very end.
it's going to be
To the
interesting.
very end. It's gonna be very interesting. But we got a timeline as to what's been going on, man. Then we got a clip
Yeah.
um that y'all might not, agree with, but if you think about what he's saying, makes absolute sense. David Sampson, if y'all haven't seen it, y'all go check it out on YouTube. But we're gonna give y'all some clips, and really the whole thing is the way he was saying. All of it made sense. Robert Blackman, what's good? Justin Swisher Sweets, what's good, man? Wisconsin Water Boy, what's good, my guy?
Mm.
RB, what's good? One Eye Shouted, say all season long. We won the draft trade. It seems like we lost now. We still got Watts, but you know what, man? Look, I mean, it happens, man. We can't control what happened in life, man. We just had to adapt and keep it moving, man. Just had to adapt and keep moving.
Definitely feels like a black eye. I understand though.
It do. J Kid, what's up? Yeah, it feels like a black eye. But again, as with me and you talked about off air, man, he's 21 years old. He's gonna make mistakes. And let's keep it real. Women mature faster than men. And Chris, honest to God, we don't know what happened. We don't know what she did. We don't know what he did. Yeah, we got the report that she reported him for probably protective order. But let's keep it real, man. It take two to tango. It take two to make a problem. Manipulation is a motherfucker. Keep it real with you.
Mm.
So,
His story,
whew,
his
man.
side, her side, and the truth. But one thing we can
Yep.
say that's the truth, man. We have some news coming up that we got to get to you, and here it is, right here.
Wisconsin Water Boy, absolutely. If it's a toxic relationship, you gotta let it go. Absolutely.
Got to.
And see, that's the thing, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I've been around a while. Debo, what's up? What's up, my guy? I just saw
What's
your damn foodie video, man. You got to take your boy on a trip to get some chicken wing, man. Come on,
that?
Debo, man. You got to straighten your boy out, man.
Debo be holding out, man.
Holding on that. But yes, Christakis,
Mhm.
she said she been reporting on domestic violence dispute the whole time. James Pearce Jr., Rakia Jackson. I was in jail when he was released and bonded out. This morning I received both of those arrest forms and details in the thread. In the thread. Not the thread, the thread. With a D at the end. See, now I'm messing up at the end since I said foots. God damn it. Um, but let's get this thing going, man. Let's see what we got, man. See what we got.
Yeah, she, she was saying that. Well, first of all, what's up,
Go
D?
ahead and read it. You
Say
got
what's
it.
up. Say what D Sloan saying. What's up, fellas? This is a crazy
D
situation.
Sloan, what's up, man? What's good? Go ahead. My bad.
Really hope he learns from the situation and get the help that he needs. Yeah, that honestly, that's true. Regardless of whatever he's
Yeah.
going through that made him act out like this, hopefully he's able to get over it because that's not a way that anybody should be acting, especially for a professional football team. You're a pass rusher who just changed your life, changed really like the Falcons' trajectory as far as like defense. You're like, okay, we got a book in here. and we just gotta continue to build around those guys. And now, Falcon fans just feel like, dog, we don't gave up a first round for you, and it's just like now you're doing this again. But like I said before on the last show, crimes of passion happen. So hopefully he's able to get his mental together, man. Seriously.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna be real.
Go ahead.
I'll be real with you, Chris. We see the bad part of it, but the good part of it, he's still breathing. That could have turned ugly.
Man, oh my God! Can you imagine?
He has a chance to redeem himself, because by him using that vehicle as a deadly weapon, that could have went south real quick. So in that aspect, he's still above ground. He still has a chance to make redemption. Now, we know he got out on a $20,000 bond, which ain't nothing, which probably to me is sort of good news, because if it was $100,000,
oh boy,
I think the charger would stick just a little bit more, because so that bond is telling a lot. That's what going on behind closed doors. So I do see a plea deal, but we'll get into that in a minute. Tony White, what's good, man? Kyle, I agree. If you look at my reaction video out there happening, I was so frustrated I could barely do the video, because I just couldn't believe it had happened like it happened. But like I said, he's 21 years old. He's gonna make mistakes. He's got to learn. But some mistakes, that you make
shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen, and you got to learn a harder lesson. And when you learn those hard lessons, sometimes it's tough. Exactly. Two sides to every story, like Chris said. His, hers, and the truth. And the truth lies somewhere in between him and her. So Moody, what's up, my guy? Well,
Latin family.
Yeah.
But just the details real quick from Miss Trish, man. She was saying that Jackson, as in Miss Rakia Jackson, called the police Saturday a.m. stating that James Pearce Jr. was following her in his own car. She told police that she recently broke up with him after a 3-year relationship, blocked his phone number as well to avoid contact, but JPJ would have a separate number and would continue to contact her. Then she has text messages that show her saying to James Pearce, saying, leave her alone, and she wanted nothing to do with him. He kept texting her. And when she left her house, she noticed that he was driving behind her. And when she was stopped at a red light, that's the whole thing when she told police that he got out his car and tried to open her door. Her statement, and it's
in the middle of the street, bro.
Middle of the street. That's what we talked about. And it even says her statement. So she filled out a statement, and it's saying in her statement, it says that she was fearful for her life and sped away to the police department for help. During that time, Pierce allegedly intentionally crashed his car into her, and I heard that was a head-on type collision type thing to block her access to the police station. Then you would have in a separate arrest form, police say that when just a little bit, all right, cool. And they say in the separate police form, they would say that they located that. Hold on, wait a minute. Separate police form, sorry, that it would say when they located the car, he refused commands to get on the ground, and we talked about him, resisting arrest. He hit an officer in the knee while attempting to try to drive away, led police on a chase, crashed the car, then resisted arrest, resisting to be taken into custody. They bonded out.
Pause right there. This is what I'm saying earlier. You see how this could have went sideways real quick? Do y'all remember what happened to the lady in Minneapolis about a month and a half ago, when she sideswiped a police officer, really barely hit him, and she lost her life? He shot her 3 times, shot her dead in the chest 3 times, and she died. So now you can imagine him driving a $300,000 car. He hit a police in the knee. If the police open fire, he's justified to do so because he's using the car as a deadly weapon. Yeah, so bro, that's why I told y'all earlier, he's lucky to even be above ground right now. So that in itself, I don't care who he needs to talk to. I don't care who in his family going to help him. Somebody need to, get a hold of him and sit down and talk to him and get his head on straight. Because if you crash out over this like one female, imagine what you would do if somebody piss you off. And I'm not even talking about a female, I'm talking about a guy. What if a dude piss you off, you lose your shit, and guess what? The same thing could happen. So he's got to get his temper under control. This is exactly why I said he's lucky to be alive today. Because certain police officers, and I'm not, no colors, no none of that, just any police officer. Some of them probably would have shot him just because he got hit in the knee with a car. And he probably didn't even hit that police officer hard. But they're going to put it in writing to make it seem like it happened that way. But continue.
Almost like he got hit, and flipped. As
Right.
verbiage is everything, and the way and words matter. So the way that they write it in the report, it's probably not even nowhere near to what we thought or what we're thinking or how it's being put. But you tap them. At the end of the day, you hit my knee. That's even if you tap them. But of course, the next two things are just his charges. Of course, his $20,000 bond. Just the charges he's going on. But Pearce's legal team, though, they issued a statement saying that in part, Mr. Pearce maintains his innocence and urges the public to understand that while allegations have the power to shape a narrative, that it is hardly the full, complete story. We look forward to vigorously defending our client. The Atlanta Falcons, of course, released their statement saying we are aware of an incident involving James Pearce Jr. in Miami. We are in the process of gathering more information, and we will not have any further comment on the open legal matter at this time. And hey, that's perfect for them. But the full statement is also about for James Pearce Jr.'s legal team as well. And you see there, so we look forward to working with the state attorney's office and fully investigating this case and uncovering the truth. Mr. Pearce maintains his innocence and urges the public, of course, like I just said, they plan on vigorously defending the client and remain confident that he will continue contributing positively to both his team and the community he serves so well. So we're going to see exactly what happens, man. There's more layers that we have to peel on this onion before we get to the real truth of it all. It's going to be interesting to see what comes next because of course, your lawyer got to go into it being confident, but we don't know what James has told them. We don't know what James has showed them. We don't know. We heard about the text messages that Miss Jackson was saying that she has about telling James to leave her alone. She doesn't want to talk to him, etc. But at the same time, we don't know what is in James' phone. We don't know what was sent James' way or anything. So it's going to be interesting. Unfortunately, this situation is just getting started. I hate that this is the way that we're kicking off our offseason, with this happening. Because, man, we supposed to be talking about draft profiles. We supposed to be talking about, doggone free agents and stuff. And it's just like, yeah, we got that coming. But it's right now, this is the matter at hand right now. We don't know how serious this is going to get, or we don't know, where this is going to go down the line. And if James can be cleared of some of these things. And I don't know how you can misunderstand any of all this, but it still has to be more sides to it. We're going to get to it, as more news comes out about it. Of course, we're going to bring it to you guys.
Facts. Miss Tiff, what's good?
What's happening, Tiff Brains?
Absolute facts. Kyle said he is young. I know we all have mistakes. Definitely happened at his age. Pray he gets the help he needs. Mentorship will go a long way for him. And that's the thing. The veterans got to pull him close. And they got to. The veterans got to step in and do what they need to do. Because if he finds a way to make it through this, he can't make another mistake as long as he plays in the NFL. Keep it honest.
If I'm one of them veterans right now, he's still on the team. So regardless, it's like one of those things where if I'm a veteran on the team, I feel like I got to give him a call. And if I can, I'm about to pull up on you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay, man, we can meet. No. You stay right where you are. I'm coming to you.
Right.
And we need to talk, man. We gotta figure this thing out. Because
you
can't be doing this. It's just you can't be involved in this, regardless. You can't be
unacceptable. Exactly.
Yeah, you just can't be involved in this.
But y'all know what to do, man. Drop them super chats, man. Drop them super chats. Our boy Quiz George said we bid for a local, and we did because I actually said it myself. And I still stand by that. This was just an unfortunate incident that happened. But I still stand by what I say. Sometimes you need them kind of guy with the screws loose, and you saw it. He played lights out this year. Yeah, he only had like 27, 28 tackles, but those 10 and a half sacks was something we hadn't had on this team in God knows how long. So, I stand by what I said. It was just an unfortunate situation. But he said we complain when we get it. We knew what we signed up for. Rise up. When you fight Raheem, you're supposed to make sure this guy had a handler. Matt failed his first job. I won't say he failed his first job. I'll say he just got to keep closer eyes on him. Because, he's still a grown man at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong, 21, 22 years old. He grown. So one thing about it that y'all got to understand, when you give a young man money and he ain't used to it, it's self-destruction all day long. So he's got to put the right people in his circle to keep him grounded, to keep him from making these type mistakes. Now, don't get me wrong. They probably know he was gonna fly or drive to Miami, however he got there. But him popping up at games, that's just not cool. That's not cool.
Yeah, man. It's just quite unfortunate at the end of the day, man. But again, we're gonna see exactly what happens moving forward with this whole situation. Rather, Smitty, whenever you want, we can move on to Mr. David Sampson if you like.
Yep. But Gizmo said those probably Blake lawyers and JP gonna have to take a hit on that contract. If he ever gets to one, this could hurt him getting paid later. Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And on the details, that the finalizations of it all, yeah. It's definitely gonna be like a cloud or a shadow, you would say, over his name and over, trying to get paid big. The only thing that could overshadow that is if he start breaking records and start showing consistency that can just say, I understand what happened off the field, but when we get in between these lines on the gridiron and I put this helmet on, this is what's going on. Because you already have that battle right now going on. You have some Falcon fans that are saying, get him out of the locker room, get him off of the team, get him out there, get him out. And then you have some saying, it's terrible what he did, but hold on, wait a second. Let's wait and hear all the details first, because this is a pass rusher. They got 10 and a half sacks. Those don't just grow on trees like that, and you don't just toss them out the door. So it's already a rift between Falcon fans and the fan base right now on JPJ, and that just goes to show you how long it's been since the Atlanta Falcons have had someone to make a difference on that defense. Because some fans are willing to really just be like, "Hey, man, he ain't killed nobody." That's basically what it is. And it's just like, hey, look what he did on the field. So you got a rift. I don't know what side everybody is choosing, but at the end of the day, I'm just hoping it all works out for the Falcons. The logo.
Okay, Mark Raimondi just dropped something.
Yeah.
He let me see, can I find it right fast? But I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. If he's out there making plays, sometimes the NFL turns a blind eye, and they let you get help. Perfect example: Justin Blackman drunk his way out of the NFL. They tried to help him, but he just could not drink that. He couldn't break that drinking habit. Another guy, Josh Gordon. He got suspended time after time after time for substance abuse, drug abuse, anything you can name. He done it.
He just want to smoke weed, man.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all he.
Look, don't get me wrong. He can do what he want to do because he grown at the end of the day.
Right.
But when you making that kind of money, which you probably won't ever make again in your life,
gotta put it down, man.
Yeah, you got to abide by rules, man. It's just that simple. But here's the news by Mark Raimondi, ESPN. He said, per incident report obtained by ESPN, James Pearce Jr. was given 9 traffic citations. Jesus Christ. As a result of the chase that ended in his felony arrest Saturday, including reckless driving with damage to a person or property. And he's talking about her car and police car, whatever else he hit. Operated on the wrong side of the road, which Chris said he turned around, head-on crash. and fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, and that goes along with bumping the officer with the front end of the car. So when you see things like this is just bad news. But again, we don't know how the prosecution is going to take this. And I know Florida is one of those strict states when it comes to laws. But depending on what kind of plea he did, because let's be real, he's going to have to plea on some of these charges. And I've been reading that some of these charges have a minimum of 5 years in prison. And we talking fair time, not have 5, do 2. It's 5 to the door. And do y'all remember when Alden Smith had those problems off the field as well? Former defensive end for the San Francisco 49ers. They tried to get him help. He could not shake his bad off the field behavior. So the pattern that I'm trying to tell y'all, sometimes when you get into these type incidents, sometimes you can be persuaded just to keep making the same mistake over and over again.
Yeah.
So just got to be careful, man. But you got something to say on this? Go ahead.
Oh man, I mean, 9 citations, brother. It doesn't help James' case having all this stuff against him. But again, that's what you have lawyers for. They're supposed to figure out, what can they finagle, and we're going to see what the lawyers do for James Pearce Jr. And along it goes with his story. That's what I'm saying. This is only beginning. There's so much information that is being released about it, but it's only the beginning. We still haven't fully heard Rakia Jackson and how she's going to handle this thing herself. It's going to be interesting, man. I don't know if she's going to be very dramatic about this situation. I don't know if she's going to be very quiet, because right now things seem quiet, a little bit too quiet. But hey, maybe she's just a private person, and that, which is not a bad thing. So it's, again, just moving forward, bro. I don't know exactly which way this thing is going to go. I just want it to go right for the Falcons. More importantly than anything, James Pearce, of course, I want things to go right for him. But the Falcons, they have a whole fan base that's behind them. So when you're letting down the Falcons, you're letting down the fan base too. So I'm just hoping that things work out for the Falcons.
Yeah, absolutely. You got, and I agree. The NFL did stick behind Ray Lewis.
Different time.
That was 26 years ago, and 26 years later, technology is better. Laws have changed. So I mean, yeah, we talk about Ben Roethlisberger and these guys. One thing about those guys, they were veterans at that point when these things happened. He's a first-year guy. He really knows nothing about the law. He really knows nothing about playing in the NFL, how much of a privilege it is. It's just things that him being 21, 22 years old, he still got to learn. So them knowing and being knowledgeable of what's going on helped them a whole lot. So look, you talk about Kareem Hunt. He's another one. He stumped somebody out on camera. The only reason why he got back in the NFL is because he went through a program that they, suggested for him, and he had to, do it step by step and report to the NFL. And once he did it step by step and reported back to the NFL, going through that program, it helped him get back into the league. And I feel like if something happened with JPJ, he's going to have to go through an NFL mandated program to, get himself back together to build that trust back up. Because not only, even if Arthur Blank keeps him, like Cal is, suggesting, Young is part of that, but I don't think it has nothing to do with that first round pick, because he was not an Ian Cunningham pick and he was not a Matt Ryan pick. So if they cut him, it would not be a surprise. But again, with all these other players have gotten in trouble in the past, they made it, hard for any other person to make a mistake. Now, the rules are different, like I said, and look, it's just different times. And Cal, I do agree with it that he could keep him. But again, I think that him going through an NFL mandated program is going to help more than anything.
Right. But I mean, one thing that he does have going against him is James Pearce Jr. doesn't have any prior, like real crime, on his record or anything like this. So he would be a technical first offender. And so there will be some like first offender rights that, he can go along with that possibly. to help lessen the blow, possibly get some charges dropped. I believe some charges. It's going to be some charges and citations that are going to get dropped and thrown out anyway. But it's just going to be the things that they want to feel like it's the most serious they want to keep, and what they can mostly prove. Like, again, like the cop and everything getting bumped. I feel like that one's not going anywhere. They probably got something on dash cam or anything, or body cam about that too. So that's probably going to be hard to get rid of. But it's going to be some other charges that are going to get dropped. This is just the initial of everything he's being charged with. But, he didn't get convicted of all those things.
Right. Ms. Tip, thank you for the donation. Truly appreciate it. And like I said, man, y'all got to think too. This is exactly 20 years since the Mike Vick incident. And they going through that thing all over again with somebody younger. So, yeah, it happens, man.
Yeah.
And look, like I said, if he gets the right people behind him, and this is a good point, first-time offender, they may drop some of the charges, absolutely. But it's very it's just very touchy because we don't know what they're gonna keep and what they're gonna throw out. And the one that are more serious, like Chris said, are the one that they might keep, and that's the one with the mandatory jail time. Appreciate you, Jay Black. He said support A1 from day one. Rise up. Absolutely.
Hey, yes, sir.
Jay Kidd said I was facing 15 years. I took a first offender plea and got 5 years probation, offering 3. I mean, it could happen, but it's another state. It's Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida a little strict when it comes to laws. But like Chris said, man, let's get into this quick video from David Sampson. And
hey, real quick though, before you do that, I do have to say, Jay Black, salute my brother, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Jay Black, he one of the day ones, has been rocking with a brother for a while, and I really do appreciate that. That's like my first ever super chat. So appreciate you, man, for the super. You know what I'm talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. But yeah, let's get to Mr. Sampson right quick. And please don't get offended. It's just his opinion. Everybody get an opinion.
Right.
So please don't go in no crazy rant because, I mean, like I've gave my opinion, Chris gave his. We'll listen to what David Sampson had to say. Now, I've heard it. And we'll just let y'all listen right quick. So let's get this thing going right quick.
I want to say something about James Pearce Jr., and I'm not worried about my reputation. I'm not worried about canceling. I'm not worried about coming off badly.
You already knew he was going to come for the smoke as soon as he said that.
I'm to you as a former executive, a player. When I owe money to that player is a rookie driving a very expensive car because of the money that he made. James Pearce Jr. of the Atlanta Falcons has been arrested. He's been arrested for doing something that ought to be the line for everybody. The 26th pick in last year's draft assaulted a very popular NBA player.
WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently was not happy with his girlfriend on again, off again. And he rammed her.
They wasn't off again, on again.
Mm-mm.
She was in the car at the time. He went after her. She's a WNBA player. Went after her in a way that is scary. In a way that reminded me of someone who is mentally ill and out of control. In a way that it can't be that you would view yourself as that to anybody, that somehow they are your property. When you have employees, they work for you at their pleasure. They have the right to not work for you. If you're a baseball player and you are the property of the team, that is true. You cannot just go play for another team because you were in a union and you collectively bargained that you have to wait 6 years to choose a different employer within Major League Baseball. But if you don't like me or my team, you can play in a different league, no problem. I mean, there's issues that have to be done to go to Japan and Korea, but we'll take care of it.
Pause. That's a key point right there. And I'm glad he said that. When you talk about these type of situations and you void, and we seeing it right now unfold, and they've been talking about it. When you disrupt any agreement in that contract, they got a right to void the entire thing because it's part of the collective bargaining agreement and is worded in your contract as if you certain violation that you strike out on and you hit it in that contract, they got the right to void out the remainder of the contract. And if that's the case, he's already broke, because I'm sure that right now, if the lawyers are being paid, the lawyers are paying. The agents are paying the lawyers, because even if that car was a rental car, now the insurance company is not going to pay for it because it was your fault. So think about throwing away $350,000 in 10 minutes. That's what it feels like.
And think about this also about the lawyers too, though, bro. This got to work because if the Falcons want to, they can void the rest of his. If a suspension comes, the Falcons can void the rest of his rookie contract, which or the money that's due, which is $7 million. He's pretty much cut. He does that. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
At the end of the day, it doesn't. They don't have to cut him. They don't have to void it, but again, they can if a suspension comes.
Right. Absolutely. Jay Black, he said, I still don't appreciate him saying you are owned by the team. That just sounds bad. It sounds bad, but it's the truth.
That's the truth, though.
Because when you sign that contract, yeah, you their property. And it does sound bad, but it's the truth. Because if I sign a contract with you that you paying me millions of dollars to play this sport, you own the rights to my name. You own the rights to my what do they call it? Name and likeness. It's just like
name, image, and likeness. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a professional deal, pretty much. So when somebody go ahead.
I was about to say, I'm gonna give you a good example that's not even in football. Do you know that when wrestlers leave companies, like for example, let's say that I'm Chris Tipmore in the WWE. Do you know that I have to fight for my name outside of the WWE? For example, like if I want to go somewhere else and just make money off of my name, they can block me from using my own name. That's why like they go to different companies, they have to switch up names and all that stuff like that. It's the same thing. It's companies can block you from making money.
Right. And see, the thing about this, man, when you do things like this, you making that employee look bad. Not only yourself, you're making that employee look bad, you're making that agent look bad because they took a chance on you. So, I get why you feel that way, Jay Black, but when you sign that contract, you they property at the end of the day. It's a 4 or 5 year rental. Ghost Pepper said any possibility of JPJ not being convicted depends on the defenses his legal team can present, potential flaws in the police report, or negotiations which aren't public yet. Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. All of that is correct. Absolutely.
You got to play the game. That's really what we're looking at. You got to try to play the game and see really like what chess moves you can make on the board. Yeah. Hey, no, Jay Black, I feel you that on that personal side. Personally, I don't like it, but it's just at the end of the day, that's just how the business goes. Yeah. Man, Richard Ford just dropping them names, been dropping the job Morant now.
We see what happened to him. But let's keep this thing going, man.
But there are certain things that when players do, to me, that's it. When you are engaging in stalking and physical or sexual domestic abuse, I don't understand the runway to return. And yeah, I'd also understand that there are players who have been friends who have been involved in domestic violence. I do. I understand that we don't want to be judged by our worst moments. But I also understand that if your worst moment is criminal, then that's the chance that you've taken. If your worst moment is morally repugnant, if your worst moment is thinking something or doing something that you regret that is not against the law, that really doesn't impact others' ability to live freely or to live their own best life, that's you. Have that freedom. Enjoy that freedom while you have it. I'm in.
Absolutely.
But when you've got someone who doesn't love you or like you or want to be with you, do you remember, Coca, the movie Bruce Almighty with Morgan Freeman and Jim Carrey? When Morgan Freeman said, yeah, I'm God, but there's something I can't do. I can't make someone love you.
Yep.
Is there any greater line in any movie than that? Is that the one power that we all wish we had? That we
Oh boy, I think Chris talked about that to me earlier. He is telling the absolute truth. Y'all might not like it, but you can't make nobody love you. Love has to be genuine. Love has to be free will, and it's called free will for a reason. Free will to do anything in this world. If God had a way to make somebody love you, this world would be a better place.
Man,
but if the fit right, if the love is not, it's just not there, and them being as young as they are, they got an entire life ahead of them. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, no, it's just that's the truth, bro. Like that's one thing that we all wish that we could have, making the person, just like he said, love us. And at the end of the day, we don't have that power. No one has that power to force anyone into loving them. So it's just when a person is ready to move on, and sometimes people outgrow each other. Again, like Smitty said, women most of the times, mature mostly faster than men. And maybe she's on something different. And on top of that, she's in the WNBA, and she's an influencer. So she has her own things going on too. She has to make sure that her brand is all together. And maybe James is not there just quite yet because she's 24 and James is 22 now. So you just gotta think about just like the little things in there. I mean, you see videos of them together, and you could tell that he cares about her, he loves her and everything. I'm not saying that she doesn't as well, but I'm just ultimately just thinking about it, bro. It's a difference. It is a difference to it.
Agreed. Chosen Jim, thank you for the donation. Truly appreciate it. Appreciate it. 8-2, what's good, my guy? Folks done dug his grave already and covered it. Don't even know the whole story. None of us know the whole story. I agree with that. And until we get to the whole story, but what we can do is just say this. VTech, thank you for the donation.
Hey, appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Thank y'all, man. I ain't lying, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all. Hey, man. Y'all need to chill. Hey, man. I appreciate the little things, man. I do.
Yeah, and look, the reason why I feel like some people feel this way because as an older gentleman, I done saw this story play over 1,000 times. Sometimes it works out, but I would say 60% of the time it doesn't go their way. And then after the charges keep adding up, media pressure. Y'all got to remember, media can sway anything, man. All they have to do is twist the story good enough and make the DA, the prosecutor, make all of them, just get them an idea in their head to whether they can twist the story to just make them look like a bad person. I look at Law and Order all the time, man. I'm going to just tell y'all that, right? I'm a Law and Order junkie. And I've seen some crazy things in those episodes where the DA and the prosecutor had twisted the whole story around and got somebody off or got them life in prison. Now, I'm not saying he's going to get life in prison, but I'm just saying it can be swayed either way. Matthew, say, sorry I missed your lives. I work 2 jobs. Keep up the great work. No doubt, man.
Hey, man. Keep working, brother, man. Keep working and you be safe out there.
Kyle, so you guys awesome. Love the content. Best Atlanta Falcons coverage and talk on YouTube. Appreciate you, Kyle. Appreciate you, man. Keith, what's up, man?
What's happening, man?
Hey, J Kid, I done seen every episode myself, brother. All 26 years. Trust me, I have. And
Boy,
I look at the reruns.
He said, nah. Sit down, look at the reruns.
Look, bro, I've been looking at Law and Order since I was 15, 16. And I think about 16. I started way back then, episode 1, it was like 1993 or 1994, if I'm not mistaken. But my dad got me into watching it, and ever since I started watching it with him, I got hooked on it.
We can make the person we love us, or that we can make someone love us in a way we feel like we want to be loved or could be loved or need to be loved, when in fact we have zero power over that at all. You can do flowers, you can do anything you want. You cannot make someone feel that feeling, that butterfly feeling. And when that feeling ends, there's nothing you can do to get it back. It very rarely comes back.
And you know what they're called? It's called puppy love. When you young, that's why they call it puppy love. Because that feeling can be there 1 second, very next second, it just disappears out of nowhere. Why? Because you just learning how to really be in a relationship. You don't even really know what a relationship means at that point.
Yeah, man.
So
they all still young. They in their 20, bro. They just really getting the whole love bug thing for real. Now I understand they both have, money, but at the same time, you look at it, bro, they still young with money and they still have opportunity. They still have their whole entire, again, like I said, she's 24. She's just now really starting to come into herself fully as a woman. James, he's on the way as a man, but besides this whole situation going on, so they all growing. Sometimes, again, people outgrow each other, whether if it's intentional or if it's just by biology and just the way that the nature and environment that they're in. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, but it doesn't mean crash out. No matter if you're the man.
I'm glad you said that environment word. That is where I was going to go next. When you, as a man, when you got that kind of money, you go to a damn strip club and you got a beautiful lady at home. But when you see all that ass shaking, that's tempting, man. And how many of them dancers want to make extra money on the side? Mm-hmm. See, it's easy. It's temptation easy for a man to get in trouble. Women can hold out better than a man can. I can admit that. Because a good woman, I don't care who drops in your face, she gonna tell you I'm good.
Yeah, she will.
But when a man sees something as tempting as what I just said, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be real hard. Don't worry about it, Willie. It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. But Drea, thank you for the donation. Truly appreciate it.
Oh, that's why you couldn't send it. That's why you couldn't send it, Willie. It's 20 only. I'm joking.
Man. Drea said, I understand what he's saying and agree with some of it, but just dropping him isn't helpful. He appeared to be out of control as a DV survivor and a counselor. Unless he seeks and receives help, it just will not, it will not come. So that's an excellent point. And when you think about it, man, as I said, it just all depends on who's in your corner. Because when you got money, sometimes all you got in your corner is yes men and no women. Yes men and yes women. I'm sorry. And people they just gonna agree with what you do, knowing that they just getting something out of it. But who's really around you that when you step out of line, they put you back in your place. And in this situation, I'm gonna just say it's supposed to be his father. Because if it's my son, I'm gonna put my foot in your ass. Just that simple. I don't give a damn how big you is. I will knock your ass out with a stick. See, this is where parenting comes into play. You strike fear in them when they're young, so when they get older, they'll know not to play with you, and they'll know how to respect themselves in public. That's how I was raised. Because my parents and grandparents taught me at an early age, hey, you step out of line you want to, you're going to have to come see me. So when I seen that down the road and I made that same mistake, I got that in my mind.
Yes, sir.
Remember what my grandparents and my mom and my daddy told me. Hey, you try it if you want to. You're going to have to come see me. Well, instead of going to see your parents, you're going to see a judge, a police officer, and whoever else in the judicial system. That's how we was raised.
That's true.
Just keeping it real with y'all.
Old school living, man. Old school living.
Hey, Millie, that's what I'm talking about. Bring back ass whippings.
Man, I'm talking about BTA, like the real BTA. The real BTA. Man, because it just that she will be advised not to make public statements just like Rihanna. That is true. Great point right there. Back when the Chris Brown and Rihanna situation happened, it went down similar, just like this. Not a whole lot coming from Rihanna's camp in the beginning, and you just had a whole lot of things going against Chris Brown. Great pull and great point, Miss Drea.
Right. Look, she absolutely right. We didn't really find out what was going on with Rihanna and Chris till probably about damn near 2 years down the line when they had them resolved everything, paid out money. Then we found out what was really going on in that situation damn near 2 years later. And that's absolutely true. And I get it, George. That's true. Lawrence Taylor's still in the Hall of Fame. But back in the 80s and 90s, you didn't have social media. You didn't have everybody's public opinion. If you had everybody's public opinion, Lawrence Taylor would probably not be in the Hall of Fame. Michael Irvin would probably not be in the Hall of Fame. But in 2026, look, it's just 30 years too late. Or like I said, they just got lucky that it happened in a time we didn't have all that.
Yep, I was just about to say it's all about when you were born. And you were born in a certain time, the time frame that our kids are growing up in now. You ain't gonna have a lot of leeway. You ain't gonna be able to get away with a whole lot that you was able to back then. Like I said, with Michael Irvin, I know he's a prime example. Lawrence Taylor, another prime example, and really we can go on and on. I mean, because there's some guys they didn't even put in until after they passed away. There's some guys that they just didn't play the game with the media. And if you don't play the game with the media, later on down the line they try to hold you out. It's just
it come back up. That's why they got it on tape. You say something out of line. Remember when you said this? Remember when you did that? Oh, yeah, it's coming back. That's any situation. That's why to me, you ask the dumbest question they can find because they know if you answer a dumb question, what do they say? Play stupid game, win stupid prizes. It comes back. But let's knock it on out. The rest of it out right quick.
When you've got an ex-girlfriend and you are all of a sudden trying to make her come back to you or thinking that somehow, how could she leave you? And I'm going to do something other than trying to be convincing with my poetry. You are putting her in danger and ending your own career.
Facts.
James Pearce Jr.'s career in the NFL is over. Even in a league that tends to be very forgiving of domestic violence. Those days have to come to an end because if Roger Goodell is going to be the way Roger Goodell is, and as we described in the previous show, where he is about the business, he is about the money, then there is no level of player ever who will be bigger than the business. There is no player bigger than the game. There is no employee bigger than the company. The downside of brand erosion is so much greater when your brand is associated with something like this, that the NFL has to wake up and realize that backing these players or allowing them to be part of the game is not worth it. So what do? You do what we do in baseball when we don't want a certain player to play. We let it be known to every team, this player will not play again, and everyone agrees and the player doesn't play again. And that should not be newsworthy. Not wanting Trevor Bauer on your team and having 30 people agree to that is not newsworthy. It's how it always should be. Having an NFL team.
That's a key point right there. We talk about collusion with Shedeur Sanders. Y'all got to think. There's 31 other owners in the league. And if they collude and say, hey, we don't want him to play no more, ain't nothing you can do about it. Because that's going to be 30, however many people vote against you. It's going to have to be a winning vote. I think it was 25 teams agree, you done. And they got the right to do that because it's a business and it's a brand at the end of the day. But go ahead.
But that already happened to him. Why do you think he failed so far?
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. It's
Deion coming out
continued
saying
behavior.
all that. Respectfully, and I'm always gonna love me some Deion Sanders. But at the end of the day, I did not think personally him coming out saying what he said about how he's going to step in, how he's going to place his hand, how he's going to tell teams no, how he's telling how Shedeur was turning down workouts. So I'm not working out with this team because I don't even plan on going to you anyway. So, like that type of behavior and everything like that is just, I didn't think it boded well for Shedeur. And then in the draft, I felt like they made an example of him because look how far he fell. We went from talking about somebody that possibly could be a first-round talent. Whether you think Shedeur was a first-round talent or not, that's your opinion. All I'm saying is the projections of possibly a first-round talent of Shedeur dropping all the way to where he fell, I also felt like it was kind of a message too. But, again, just going into the whole point about, like he just said, about calling up other GMs. Hey, look, we're not going to draft this player. If this player is not going to play, we all agree. Whoop, whoop. And then it was great because he did make the point about Trevor Bauer. And yes, Trevor Bauer, even though he was found not guilty and all that stuff like that, he still doesn't have a job and he's still untouched. He's still not being touched by anybody. And he'll probably never play baseball again.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's when you have, and think about this too. Think about how many entertainers have tried to buy NFL teams, and they got rejected because they didn't want them a part of the association. What makes you think a player got a choice if they say no? If a famous person who has egregious amounts of money can, find a way to get up to billions of dollars to buy a team, and all they got to do is snap their fingers and say, no, we don't want them to be an owner in the NFL. What make you think a player has a chance when they say, no, we don't want him to play in the NFL no more because of his off-the-field conduct? And y'all got to think, when Josh Gordon got in trouble, he had been in the league already. When you've been in the league for a certain amount of time and you're making the league money, you put money in their pocket, you're going to have more of a better chance to come back. Because like I said earlier, they're going to have a program ready for you to get in place for you to get back in the league. And if you mess up in that program, guess what? You just done for good. But Trey said he just think it seems like a mental and a maniac episode. We stress mental health, but crucify people without context. He's wrong, but seems he was out of his mind. Reckon the Lambo is crazy work, rich or poor. That's absolutely true.
Yes,
absolutely true.
And I think that's why, like in every show that we've talked about this, we've talked about how we hope that his mental and he can get the help that he needs, because again, he's a young guy. He's a professional athlete. He has his whole future ahead of him. But that's where I go back to that crime of passion things. Sometimes you can be in love with a person, and things don't work out and you don't know how to handle it. You like, this has been my last 3 years. You've been my last 3 years. Like, you're all I know type thing. And it's just like,
right.
You're trying to move on and I don't want you to move on. And then you do something irrational or just egregious.
But and another thing, Chris, if he understood how to handle this situation and move on, I think he would be fine. Because when you look at celebrities today, they just run in the same circle. How many times have you seen Chris Brown be with somebody else in the industry's been with? How many times have you seen other celebrities, just go around in a circle, end up with the same person that was one of their buddies or one of their cousins or somebody? It just happens. Look at Larsa Pippen. She done been with every man under the blue moon. Look at Lori Harvey. She's been with every celebrity under the blue moon. Chris Brown, he's a dude that's done it. I mean, it just happens. I mean, it's just the way Hollywood works. When you have a
lifestyle.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Not just it goes after that lifestyle.
Yeah, when you have a certain amount of money, they're the only type of people you look at because they can take care of themselves. You don't have to do it. It's just common sense. But Miss Drill said she disagreed. They let these kids in. They need to give them the tools to be successful. Well, Miss Drill, I got news for you. They covered themselves when they made that rookie symposium. When they when they started making that rookie symposium, when they get drafted, that was their way of covering themselves from being responsible for these mistakes. Because if you have players that talk to them in the symposium and tell them how to handle their money, what they should do, how to do this and how to do that, how to invest, that's them covering themselves. I agree with you 100%. But they cover themselves with that Ricky symposium.
My thing is, I look at it like this. You have guys who have played the game. Why not bring back some of those legends and like maybe on a monthly thing? I mean, I look at it like this. You can find the budget for it to bring back legends or just bring in people to help speak to them on a, it don't have to be weekly. It can be monthly, but just something inspiring and something positive to continue for these young people mind to feed on. Because if they're not feeding on something positive, social media is always going to give them something negative to feed on their mind. And the only thing it is going to project from their mind into real life. So I look at it as like the NFL needs to do even more. The way I think about it, yeah, you're giving these kids millions of dollars, but you're not giving them any type of plan, any type of action outside of the symposium. But you can do still more. There's still more you can do. If we're talking about each one, teach one, there's more that you can do. Again, I don't mind, for example, old guys like Jonathan Babineau, Pat Kearney, Jesse Tuggle coming in, talking to these guys, about their experiences and what they possibly did. And, hey, don't do this. And just, being around and having that family community. What's wrong with that?
Facts. JP, he said you're right, Chris. That was the dumbest move ever by Dion. He knows they are billionaires and they are truly arrogant. He should have known better. Prime did it to his own son. And yeah, he got to take some accountability. He definitely do. Ms. Drill said they want players to play with an edge. It's going to come with a level of crazy. Absolutely. I see that all the time. All the time. But yeah, that's the way it works. That is the way it works, man. Look, Ms. Drill said she said she understands what he's saying, but he appeared to be out of control as a defensive. Yeah, see, that's the thing. He appeared to be out of control because of the way they're twisting it. And what did I say earlier? If the media spin it a certain way, that's how us as people watching, that's how we going to consume it, and that's how we going to buy into him just not being right upstairs. But we knew this before he got drafted. He had problems upstairs. He just never found a way to fix it like he was supposed to. He found a way to deal with it. But getting it fixed is just something totally different. But let me see how long we have, because we might be done with that clip. Let's see. We got about a little bit over a minute, so we'll go to the last part, and then that'll be
wanting to associate with James Pearce Jr. It's done. The Falcons had no choice but to release a statement, and it was a perfect, neutral, immediate statement that doesn't have to be statement one because you never need to follow it up. We're aware of an incident involving James Pearce in Miami. We're in the process of gathering more information and will not have any further comment on an open legal matter at this time. Done. Fan-frickin-tastic.
Boom.
The next announcement will be a release. A simple waiver wire release. When the Falcons are asked about it, we can help them understand how to answer the question, which is we've got the best 50-plus guys we felt were best for our organization and our city. To win the most games possible, this is the group of players who together we have. It's how you get away with cutting your best player for bad behavior, something I was never willing to do. That's another way that I've changed, Coca. If I were to go back and be a team president, knowing sort of what I know now, is I would not give our best players the latitude that they had to be different. I would be even more careful to apply the same rules and regulations to the best players, because that is how you build teams.
Right.
The Falcons cannot afford for James Pearce to continue as a Falcon, and it's going to happen exactly that way.
He absolutely 200% correct. I know a lot of y'all might not agree with what he's saying, but he's absolutely correct. it would be a black eye on them in a certain way. Because think about it. The next person get into that kind of trouble and they see him get off with it. What you think that they're gonna be the defense of that player? Well, when James Pearce did it, he got away with it. Why can't I get away with it?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I do get that sense and everything. It's just crazy on how all of a sudden James Pearce is going to be the line in the sand. It just crazy. Like, I mean, I understand you have to make an example out of somebody, but we're going to make James Pearce the line in the sand out of all the things that have happened in the NFL through players and all this stuff like that. We're going to just ban James Pearce Jr. I don't see that happening. I don't know. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, or Robin said if he gets released and another team gets him right in the positive way, we ain't going to be, you know what, I know that. But I mean, it goes further than that though. If he comes back in a positive way, that means he's put in the work to come back. That means they've stood behind it and help him get in the right. And I'm talking about the NFL as a whole, not just the team that he's going to play for, but the NFL as a whole. As I told you, it's going to be a process for him to get back on the right track. Just like Kareem Hunt, just like Josh Gordon. When Josh Gordon kept going into those rehab, kept getting help like he was supposed to, guess what he said? Guess what the NFL said? Well, he trying to do right. Let's give him another chance. He gets back out there. He does the same thing. Get checked back in the rehab, does it again. He did it for about 6 or 7. He did it 6 or 7 times. But at the end, he just got older and he just couldn't do it no more.
Josh. I admit, Josh got a lot of opportunities. Josh got a lot of opportunities. But at the end of the day, you think about it, it still didn't have to do with anybody else. You feel me? It was all Josh. Josh didn't involve nobody else. You didn't have to worry about Josh involving anybody else. It was all Josh Gordon. And the only thing that it was what he liked to do outside of playing football, as far as habits go.
Right.
So you think about it, you're going to probably give a guy that opportunity to probably stop and put the peace pipe down before, this situation, just saying.
Yeah. And Dr. Gunge, I get what you're saying, but now that weed is legal in a lot of states, the penalty is not as harsh as it used to be because it was drug abuse. But now that it's been legalized, they're going to be a little more lenient on it. But this type of behavior as far as domestic violence, they're going to never be cool with that. Never. Because it gives them a black eye if they let it pass. Look at the kicker when he got in trouble with domestic violence. Kicker got in trouble for domestic violence. He got cut and never played again. I talked about Ray Rice, and I just, Kareem Hunt, domestic violence, but it wasn't against a spouse. It was still a female, but I feel like it was something that they got into it about, and he stumped the lady out. The NFL seen the film and said, "Hey, you get suspended for that. We not gonna tolerate that." But he fired back. Well, not fired back. He got into that program that they put him through. He passed it with flying colors. Got back to playing football a couple of years later. If James Pearce gets cut by the Falcons, he's going to have to go through a program by the NFL. NFL mandated. And if he passed through that with flying colors without setbacks, he'll be back in the NFL. Just that simple. It has to work that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's different. A lot of different channels they can go through with this situation with James Pearce Jr., man. And again, I'm just waiting for more information, waiting for everything to get ironed out. Again, he's not going to keep all those charges. I know that for a fact. Some of them things get dropped. Some of them things going to get lessened. Some of them, because he's got a bunch of felonies, but I do believe some of them are going to get dropped to a misdemeanor or just dropped. Again, that police about, hitting the police, that's not going anywhere. I just feel like they're going to keep that one. And the deadly weapon being the vehicle, even if they drop one count, he's probably still going to keep a count. You know, it just we'll see though moving forward though, because you never know. Good lawyer possibly can find a loophole or something, just like the person in the chat had said earlier, different faulty statements or faulty camera footage, whatever. Anything that the lawyer can find that work in favor of James Pearce Jr., they're going to do it. So
yeah. And J Key said, if I'm a business or sponsor, Falcons and the NBA team, WNBA team, I'm going to lead towards the Falcon cutting ties, or it's going to look bad on my business. Absolute facts. 8-2 said, why they not showing either car? They got to get all the evidence together. When they get all the evidence together later on down the line, we'll see all of that. We'll see, him getting away, camera footage. We'll see all of that. But right now, since they trying to put an investigation together, they're not going to release everything. So I
did see the front. Yeah. I did see the front of James Pearce Jr.'s car though. Like it really didn't even look like it had any damage. Like if you guys on my channel, I had dropped a little small video to where I had the camera footage and all the stuff there about them wrestling with James Pearce, but also within it, maybe around in like the 2-minute mark, maybe 3-minute mark of the video, there's a still shot of his photo. A still shot of the photo of the car, and it's like going to be a lady walking past it. I was looking at that picture, and I'm just like, it don't even look like his car has any damage, really. But of course, that's it's not like a
zoom. It'll probably side swipe. See, that's what I'm saying. The media can spin it and make it look bad, worse than what it is, because they holding the cards out in their hand. Because think about it, just like you just said, the car don't look that bad, but all they gotta do is write certain words in the article that say, "Hey, it looks this bad," but we know it don't look bad if we seen the picture. But they can spin it like that. But go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
No, you good, bro. It's just again like that just goes to show you, like, yes, like it didn't look smashed. That's my point that I want to make. I'm not saying that there wasn't any damage on it, but I'm thinking if he went on a head-on collision. I understand it's a $350,000 car, but I'm still assuming there would be some type of damage that was there that's kind of visible, something hanging, you know what I'm saying? Something, but that thing looked like it was fine. Now, I don't know what kind of car she had, too. You know what I'm saying? I want to give that fact out there, too. But I just didn't see any kind of damage on that car. So, again, so much still has to come out.
Madrid said, set the rules program wide. Also, nothing matters unless he really wants to help and change. Anger management is BS.
I agree.
Yeah, and it's only going to help for so long. Let's keep it real. 803 Tonyo, boy from the Carolinas. He said, I hope we don't get rid of Pearce because he was a huge part of our defense success. But who do y'all think could compensate for his productivity? That's a great question. You can go out and find a veteran if they fit the system and they can get after the quarterback. Not saying he'll get double-digit sacks, but he'll get enough sacks as to where he can make a difference. What you think, A1?
To be honest with you, when I look at the squad, it's going to have to be, I think, a collective thing. I think, you're going to have to get Zach Harrison back right and healthy. Brandon Dorlus is going to have to take an extra step. Jalen Walker may have to be used more so as a blitzer, especially depending on what happens with Caden Ellis or if you bring in somebody else to help out. I told you before, I ain't lying to you. The guy who's rubbing his hands right now is Arnold Abacady because he probably wasn't even going to get offered much. But there's a possibility. There's a possibility that, you still may have to bring him back. And you may have to even talk to Leonard Floyd. So it just, again, with this situation going on, depending on what happens moving forward, we just have to see what happens on what you can do. Because right now, we cool. We can try to still figure it out. I'm pretty sure that Matt Ryan is still behind the scenes with Ian Cunningham trying to figure out what's the worst case scenario. Well, we know the worst case is we have to cut him and void the contract. So if we do that, who can we place and put and bring in here to replace 10.5 sacks, something that we haven't seen since Grady Jarrett a few years ago, getting close to 10.5 sacks, you know what I'm saying, back in the early part of his career. And then you also look at it, even before then, it was like John Abraham. So again, as a Falcon franchise, you got to look at it like, who can we bring in? Who can we trust? Or who can we trade for and fit within the budget?
Yep, that's going to be the big question because cap space is going to be limited. Hate to tell y'all that. Even with the Kirk Cousins cutting, we losing $10 million. And I did not know that. Yeah, we getting out of that contract and we don't get the money until 2 years later. But this year on Kirk Cousins, we losing $10 million. That's why I say you might have some cap casualties that you might not like, some trades that you might not like, but it happens. Matthew, thank you for the donation. Truly appreciate it. 82 said, that's all I've been saying. It's a lame beat writer trying to boost their story. I've been in these courts a few times. And yeah, I mean, it's going to always be with the media. Somebody's going to always try to boost their story. I mean, it's just a part of media, how it works. Whoever writes the best story and it's the most controversial, they get their name on that front page. It's just how it works. Because think about it. When you look at YouTube channels, what video do you see getting the most views? Controversy. When you talk about rappers, when you talk about Charleston White, when you talk about, just anything got to do with anything in Chicago, it's controversy. So, I mean, it happens. But Granddad, he said, question, why do cows wear bells? Because their horns don't work. You got jokes. Christian Hooks, funny thing is, me and A1 talked about this earlier. We were actually together earlier. Yeah. And we talked about this. But it's something that we got to work up on because you got to look at contract, you got to look at, cap space. So if it makes sense, I'll do a video on it. So
don't forget about the asking price.
that too. Why he can't change in Atlanta? Why cut some of us teams to get him right? Why not us? I mean, we can do it.
Yeah, we can.
Well, anybody can do it. But do they have the patience to do it?
Right. That's where they're. Do they have the patience to do it? Do they buy into the fact that this guy is a guy that just made a mistake and possibly will never do that type of stuff again? Do they believe in him?
Right.
And you think about it back with the Michael Vick situation. I know one thing that even Vick, wished that he had done himself was be honest about the situation. So that's one thing I can say for James to do. Be honest with Arthur, be honest with Matt, be honest with Ian, all that stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure when he got back to Atlanta, because I heard that he was going to be going straight back to Atlanta from Florida. So I'm pretty sure when you got back to Atlanta, yeah, go ahead. Take a.
He got that call on the flight. Trust me,
bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't even have called you on the flight. As soon as I would have already had it out there for instructions. As soon as you touch down, and let's say you get a shower, get you something to eat, you coming right to the mansion. You finna pull up. And we finna talk about this face to face right now. I need to know, if I'm Arthur Blank, I need to know everything just because I understand he's been through the situation before. And you feel like the way that he handled himself moving forward after the Vic situation, yeah, he did have some trust issues, some PTSD, and some of the moves that he made. But still, just be honest. I just want him to be honest and tell Arthur and them exactly what happens, because regardless, clear your conscience, if nothing else. Regardless of what happened in the situation, regardless of what happened with your future, clear your own conscience. And just be honest with these people.
Got to be honest with it. But what I'm going to try, I know it can happen. But if we get any more news on that, I know the perfect person to ask. Our good friend, John Abraham, because he's had off the field problems as well. He's never been scared to talk about those problems, but he knows how the law works when it comes to athletes. He knows it. So what I would do, reach out to him, see if he wants to talk about it. And that depends on how much story we have left. Because we've been talking about this 5 days already. 4 days already.
Bro. It's absolutely crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's absolutely crazy how this really just has taken over the beginning of the offseason for real.
Yeah. That, like I said, controversy sells. That's exactly my point. Chase said part of the story came from Jackson. what she told the police, and the other was he say. I mean, that's just how it works. And what do we learn coming up? And our teachers taught us this, and I'm older than Chris, so this is what my teachers taught me. He taught us, as students. They tell one person to start a rumor on one end of the room. By the time they get to the other end with how many students in the class, ain't no telling how many times the story be unchanged. So it's the same thing that goes on with media. You start with one thing, by the time it gets all the way to the other end of the room, story done changed, words done got added, situation done got added, and it's totally different. And I didn't never understood as a kid why they told us to do that. But the older I got, I understood it fully. Because if it don't come from that person's mouth that it happened to, it's going to change God knows how many times. And watch how much stuff is added on from the time the story broke on Saturday all the way up until whenever I would say another week or so. Watch how many times the story done changed. It just happens. That's just life. It happens. So, I mean, Antonio said, do you think our draft needs will change with Pearce's position on the team being uncertain? Antonio, me and A1 talked about this earlier too. It absolutely changes. I hate to say it, but I mean, it changes to a certain extent. But if they can find a perfect veteran to bring in to fill in his spot, I think it may not change at all.
But all depends.
I think, a trade back is more viable at this point as well, knowing what has happened.
So I expect the end to trade back anyway. I definitely expect them to trade back just to try to protect the franchise. You need to accumulate more picks. At one point in time, like I said, they turned 5 picks over in Chicago to 10. You may have to move a person. We already talked about that before James Pearce even got into anything. So it's just all going to depend on and coming down to like what the story is, what's the truth, what's the fable, and then we'll keep on moving forward from there. Oh, God. That's a great question right there, Jay Brown.
JT.
Yeah, man. God. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I really do not know. I haven't heard anything on Braylon Trice outside of him being out for the season pretty much. I haven't heard anything about him being able to recover from the fluid on his knee. He should be ready to go, to be honest. But again, we got to wait to hear any news from him or news about him to see if like how he's going with his recovery, man.
And honestly, Chris, I'm gonna be real with you. I think this is his last shot. If he's injured this year, he's getting cut. Look, what he was able to do in college, and the crazy thing is, when he got hurt in that preseason game, they told us, "Oh, he'll be back in no time. He may be back, in about 4 weeks. Put him on IR for a little while." But the knee did not progress at all. So we really don't know how bad that knee injury was. So with that being said, we don't know. It's a wait and see approach, because for all we know, he might not even play again. That's for all we know.
For all we know, he may not make the roster. Like for real. He may not even do it, but bro,
Yeah, I mean it happens. But you know what to do, man. It's been a great show, man. Thank y'all for the super chats. Thank y'all for tuning in to the pop-up show. We really, truly appreciate y'all always joining us, man, giving us y'all feedback. And I'm telling y'all make the show. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It's y'all. Without y'all, there's no show. But Chris, you know what to do, man. Unless you got final words.
No, man. On the final words I got is these words I got right here, man. First of all, find y'all peace today. Positive energy always creates elevation. Y'all make sure y'all don't have no crimes of passion. I don't want none of y'all getting in trouble. We already got enough. But at the end of the day, man, Twitter A1 forever, Instagram A1 forever, the real A1 forever on TikTok, man. Thank y'all for the super chats today. Yeah, finally don't made it to at least the super chat stage. Still growing though, still rising because some more levels I got to get to. So I mean, we and Smitty, we're still out here doing this thing, providing y'all some of the best content out here. And we do it for you guys, and we appreciate y'all pulling up all the time because I mean, there's plenty of other places y'all could be. And we appreciate y'all coming in, doing this with us and having these conversations. Sometimes, group conversations are better than just having conversations with yourself. So at the end of the day, man, we appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. A1 Forever Sports, that's the platform on YouTube. Come over, like, comment, subscribe. Be a part of the A1 family. Same thing for the Hawks Digest as well. Running that page up over there, growing. It's a blessing as well. So, everything is just a blessing. Can't thank nobody but God. Appreciate y'all.
Shout out to Walter, man. Shout out to Walter. And y'all got a new teammate as well. Shout out to him too.
Yeah, Walter and Michael, man, or Mikey.
Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Mike.
For those who watch We Talk Hawks TV over there with Demond.
Yeah, might be doing it. Might been supporting me for a while, man. JT, man, we just saying, bro. We don't try to be funny, it just come out that way. But I do got final words. Wing stop.
Uh-oh.
Drea, thank you for the donation. You be blessed as well. Thank you for always tuning in. Thank you all for always showing the page love. Truly appreciate it. Right. But yeah, y'all know where to find me, man. I'm gonna try to get some draft videos and free agent video, but with this James Pearce news, it just stops me in my track. I could be working on something, but this news always gets me, man. Always. But granddaughter, thank you, man. We're going to try to keep the faith because that's all we have at the end of the day. Faith in God and faith in what happens next. Because nobody knows what's going to happen next. You got to keep your faith to take that next step. Also catch me on at FatBoySlim_21 on Twitter. As I'm always over there blowing that thing up. Catch me on Facebook at Antoine Smitty Smith. I check that page every now and then. And I have a Smitty Sports Machine fan page that I started 10 years ago. But I don't post on there much. But it has about 12,000 followers on there, so y'all can go over there and find me over there as well. I've had people drop questions over there. So, look, I'm all over social media everywhere, TikTok, anywhere you can name, I'm there. But it's been a great show, man. I truly appreciate y'all. But before we go, Miss Clara said, I can tell you now, if the NFL let him play with no punishment, watch the WNBA is going to come out against the NFL. They are going to protect their own, as she is a professional athlete as well. Ms. Clara, that's absolutely 200% correct. Absolutely. So let's get this straight before we get off air. I'm praying for Rakia Jackson, praying for her mental health, praying for her to bounce back, mentally, because this is nothing to play with, folks. Mental health is a real thing. This could throw her in a loop, but we're going to pray that she stay on the right track, keep her mental health up, and she get the proper help she needs, because she's going to have to talk to somebody as well. Don't think, just because, he did that, she's going to have to talk to somebody as well. Because, look, trauma is real. Trust me when I tell you. Trauma is real. So we're going to pray for Miss Rakia Jackson. Pray that she keeps keep walking in the right path to success and fame, and pray she comes out on top. But again, God is always in control, as I tell y'all, man. Always in control. Absolutely, Joy. They both kids, but we gonna pray for them. But for your boy Antoine Smith, my boy A1 Forever, man. Like I always say, man, y'all please go over to A1 Forever, Smitty Sports Machine. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hype us up. So when you hype us up, it pushes you through the algorithm just a little bit more. But until next time, man, when some more news breaks, so when we drop these profiles, we're going to holler. Peace.
Peace, y'all.